Hi guys, it's Wendy here from Wendy Wise Beauty. Today I have a haul of Middle Eastern fragrances. So I am just going to give you guys my take. Before I continue guys, please do not forget to like and subscribe. And do send me some comments. I am trying to get to 4K and I would greatly appreciate your support in doing this. I do see a lot of you guys watching me, but you are not subscribing. Please consider supporting this channel by subscribing. I would greatly appreciate it. The first one I am going to start with, it is from Haramain. It is quite new and it is called La Lune, Haramain La Lune, and this one it is extrait de parfum and it looks like this. I am not sure if I really like this bottle. Sometimes I am crazy about it and other times not. This is what it looks like. I think it's the top that I have a little bit of problems with. Don't know why, but you can't like them all. La Lune, it is relatively new. This came out, I believe, in the end of 2024, but it is brand new here in Europe. I was not able to find much about La Lune, but there were a couple reviews on Reddit which stated that it could be inspired by Lush Potion. I have not tried Lush Potion, however it is a nice one. It was a bit strange, so I will get into this with you guys. When I first sprayed it, I wasn't sure if I liked it. It had a bit of a feel, you know, an aura to it, like it was pulling a bit dated. It has the same type of opening as Afnan Paris Oud. It opens this way, however it changes quite quickly. Paris Oud, it's a perfume that I adore. I love it in the fall. It is not off-putting, but the opening, it's not the best aspect of this perfume. When La Lune settles, it's a very classy, sophisticated, serious fragrance. In terms of age group, I would say probably people who are 25 and younger may not necessarily like this fragrance because it is a serious scent, at least when it opens. The opening, it is woody ambery with some aromatic notes. It almost smells like there is an aldehyde note in the perfume, but it is not listed. I would tend to think that there is because it does behave this way. The opening, it is not sweet, despite most of the sweetening notes, accords are listed in the opening. This one, it needs quite a bit of time, you know, and when this ambery, slight woody opening sort of tapers down a bit, then the vanilla appears in the fragrance. It is beautiful because it is accompanied by a very supple leather suede note. When the perfume gets to this stage, it becomes quite beautiful. This aldehydic note accord that I did get in the opening, it is not entirely gone, but it tones down quite a lot. With a bit more time, it becomes powdery and the citrus and fruity notes enter the perfume, so the heart, it is powdery, a bit citrus, a bit fruity. I classified this one as a bit complex, a bit of a strange one, because the perfume, it ends very differently than how it starts. This really, it captivates me about 30 minutes after having the perfume on my skin, because the floral notes, they do come out with the citrus notes and the vanilla. There is still a bit of powder in the mix. The finish of the perfume, it is absolutely beautiful, and what I love is the longer the perfume remains on my skin, the more beautiful it becomes. And when I think, you know, some hours later that the perfume has done its thing, I do get whiffs here and there of floral notes. It comes and it goes. It is a very playful perfume. The dry down, it really surprised me. I almost classified this perfume as a fail, you know. The first, I would say, half hour, the first time I tried it, when I sprayed it, I was thinking, this one, it might be pulling a bit dated, and it behaved like a perfume, you know. After a couple hours you would get tired of it, because I was thinking, you know, that this strong, you can say, aldehydic feel would remain, but it does not remain in the dry down. This is a pretty perfume, and same as Parisian Oud from Afnan, it has a very drastic transformation, and I am looking forward to wearing this. It is really an all year round perfume. It is not overtly floral, not overtly fresh, and I do like such perfumes, especially in the fall. I do not get much of a strong smoky accord. The suede is there, definitely. The powdery note, but it is not too strong, and the florals. This one, it did grow on me. It is not for everyone, but due to this beautiful dry down, it is one, I would say, which is worth trying. The next one, it is called Wujood, and this, it is from Zimaya Perfumes. The inspiration for this one, it is Rosendo Mateu No. 5. This is what the perfume looks like. It's a beautiful bottle. I don't know if you can see the color play on here. When I hold it up to the light, it is sometimes light green at the bottom, and then this hunter green, almost black. It's very beautiful packaging. Let me spray this so I can have some goodness around me. Oh, I sprayed a bit too much, because this one, it is quite potent. Guys, from the lot of perfumes, this one was my favorite. This is such a beautiful perfume. After having worn this and I fell in love with it, you know, I went on Fragrantica. I was looking at reviews because I wanted to see what it was inspired by, if I could find something. On Fragrantica, it said it is a perfume for men. And I was thinking, no, this cannot be. This is right in the middle. And I looked at a few other websites, and the notes did not say to me it's a masculine fragrance, but Zimaya does list it as a unisex fragrance. So Fragrantica is wrong with this one. The opening of Wujood, it is delicious spicy vanilla laced with saffron. This is so beautiful. I sprayed this perfume and I sprayed and sprayed because the opening. It is not foodie, delicious, but it does make you hungry. Like a very nice chai tea when it is nicely done. It's not a very complex perfume. It pretty much remains almost the same from the opening to the dry down, but it is not simple. You get everything all at once and it's perfume goodness. This is what I would call, a self-sniffer, because when I spray this, I keep smelling myself, smelling my clothes. I love spraying on my hair, my clothes, everywhere. The resinous properties of the olibanum in here, it is more, I would say, resinous as opposed to pulling a bit on the woody side. It keeps the perfume fresh, it keeps it lively. Wujood is not a very dense perfume. It's comforting, it's yummy, but it is not foodie. And this is due, to this note in the perfume. Sometimes I do not like olibanum because it can be a bit mentholy, but in here it adds a bit of greenness, almost pulling, you can say, maybe a little bit grassy. It is nicely done in Wujood. While this would be perfectly placed on a cold spring day, definitely winter, perfect fall, I can see myself, and I will be wearing this whenever the weather is cool or if it's raining, and just when I need some perfume goodness. Guys, this is beautiful. I think I am maybe late to the bandwagon for the price point, the quality of the perfume, the way it wears. It is potent. It has very good longevity. I can only sing the praises and goodness of Wujood. I did see there is another perfume in a black bottle. I have to look at this one to see, maybe this might be the masculine one and Fragrantica classified this wrongly. This is a beautiful unisex perfume, and if I should say it is pulling in any little direction, it would be more, I would say, a hint more feminine than masculine. The next one, it is Fakhama from Maison Asrar. I think this is the third perfume that I do have from the brand. Yes, I did get honey vanilla, and this one was fabulous, beautiful. I have seen a lot of reviews about this perfume, guys, but I was thinking it was Fakha from Latafa, and this one, I believe it is inspired by Latadi, and I have just about every version of Latadi except the original, so I was really not so interested. And then I realized that Fakhama, it is a different perfume, so I did go ahead and I picked up this one. I really don't have to spray this one, guys. It is very potent, and the inspiration, it is Good Girl Gone Bad and also Istanbul. It is supposed to be a mix of those two perfumes. I do have Good Girl Gone Bad. I have not tried Istanbul, but this perfume, it is, you can say, they have perfected Good Girl Gone Bad. It's not as heady, it's a bit creamier. Oh, this is lovely. I know I am late to Fakhama. I will not screw on for very long, but this is a gorgeous perfume. It has the exact right amount, correct dose of white florals, vanilla and sweetness. It is a bit on the sweet side, but I do not mind it. It is sweet, it is creamy, it is feminine, you know, a bit of a grand floral. So it has a lot of sillage and it lasts forever. When you spray this, you know, you will be able to enjoy it days later on your sweater or whatever, a scarf it is you were wearing when you applied this perfume. Such a decadent and opulent perfume. I want to get Istanbul. I was thinking, you know, if this is what is added to Good Girl Gone Bad that makes it so intoxicating, you know, so addictive, maybe I do want it. But based on what I can see, Istanbul, it is simply a sweeter version of Good Girl Gone Bad. So, but if I can get a sample, I will come back and give you guys my take on it. But this was for me love at first sniff. Next one up is Junoon Rose. I do have Junoon Nuit, which is inspired by Dama Bianca from Ziyechov. I have already compared those two and they were quite close. So Junoon Rose, I did bring this one home now because it was always sold out. It draws inspiration from Amouage, Blossom Love, and this came out in 2019. This perfume, it is almost pulling, you know, powdery sweet in the opening, but it never really gets there. It is powdery, but the sweetness, it is almost like it's teasing you. I do like the heliotrope in here. It adds creaminess. I can smell it, but it does not overpower the rose. The amaretto, it's not boozy. I can smell amaretto, especially in the dry down, but I do not get any kind of boozy accord. This is a very feminine, pretty rose, which is pulling a bit powdery. The amaretto, it's more present in the base than it is in the heart, and it sort of adds some nice depth, you know, a bit of backbone to the fragrance. It doesn't become a runaway floral, you know. This is not a very, it's a pretty rose, but I would not classify it as a young girly rose. It is quite grown up. I wouldn't say that this perfume is for everyone. It has a bit of a vintage feel to it, and it is not a crisp clear rose. So you would have to like, you know, this type of rose which has a bit of powder pulling a bit on the vintage side. It is not dated, but it is at the same time not your typical modern fresh rose, which is now preferred on the market. Do I like this? Yes, I will wear it. I do have another rose like this. It's from Katlaj. What is it called? Let me get it. It is this one here. It is called Rose and Romance. Rose and Romance, it has a bit more sweetness. It's a bit more floral, and this has powder. But if you have Rose and Romance, you know, this vintage aura that it gives without being dated, it's almost the same type of feel in here. I am very happy that I did get it. I did also get Junoon Oud, but I will put this one in another type of video that I am working on. I would just like to add, I do have the same issues with the atomizer on Junoon Rose that I do have with Junoon Noir. Sometimes it gushes out and it does not spray out in a fine spray. I would tend to think it is the design, you know, somehow of the bottle. I have quite a few HARAMIN perfumes. The atomizers are all very good tops, but with this bottle there seems to be a bit of a problem. If I do try to spray quickly, I get gushes running down the bottle and also on my fingers. It does not bother me very much, but I do try to spray this before I get dressed because I am always afraid of, you know, having a bit of perfume stain on my clothes, especially if I am wearing, you know, silky material, because even sometimes after it dries you can still see it. So this is the only con I do have about this one. Anyway guys, thanks for watching and hope to see you again soon on Wendy Wise Beauty. Tschüss!